Good morning, traders. It is 6:20 a.m. Pacific time. The date is June 19th, 2019. Still can't believe it's 2019, but we can talk about that later. Welcome to my trading journal. This is the Jigsaw day trader platform. These are futures products. There are 5 products here from left to right. This is the Ultra Bond all the way over here on the left. This is the 30-year, symbol ZB, 30-year bond. This is the ZF, which is the 5-year Treasury. This is the 10-year Treasury, symbol ZN. All the way over here on the right is symbol ES, which is the E-mini S&P, which typically works as an inverse correlation to these other markets over here. So when this market's going up or down, these markets are usually doing the opposite. Usually. So let's take a look real quick at what happened overnight. Let's see. So we opened right around in this area. Kind of just slumped down a little bit more. You had European Open bid up a little bit, and then it turned into a trend day. Popped down, came up, popped down again, came up, popped down again, came up to resistance, popped down, resistance, and then we had pit open right about here. They sold it down. It just passed the overnight low, a couple ticks, and then now we're trading back up in this range right now. This is a delayed chart. As far as the calendar, everybody should know that today is the FOMC day, so expectation is for things to be pretty slow. We had mortgage applications come out this morning. That's typically a very volatile number, and it was a big miss, but that's not that big of a deal. The one thing I'll point out here really quick was that this happened quite a while ago, I think, but you could see the absorption that happened here at this level. Sellers were pushing this down pretty hard. I was just sitting here watching, kind of just caffeinating and getting ready for my morning, and it was a pretty good opportunity. I didn't pull the trigger just because I just wasn't ready mentally. But this was selling down pretty hard across the board, and buyers just soaked up this 10,000 pretty quickly and just brute force pushed this right back up. So it was pretty cool to see. It's definitely actionable in my opinion. So areas of interest, we have this profile step here, kind of indicated that with resistance. We have could be a double bottom here at the current low to take a look and see if buyers soak up all the selling here again. There's about 7 minutes till cash open, so we have some time to kind of evaluate things. But as far as those only 2 areas of interest that I'm seeing right now. We obviously have the overnight high. And if we're still around when they announce the Fed, I'm sure we can get up to that level. Depends on what they say. Otherwise, we're expecting kind of a slow day. Again, I thought yesterday was going to be slow, but I guess not. The one thing I'll point out really quick is the bids and offers are pretty thin. I look across all products. Usually you see 800-900 over here. And actually the Ultra Bond's pretty thick. Well, no, it's usually 300 or 400. Usually see 800 to 900 over here. In the 30-year, it's usually double, at least double that in the 5-year. Over here, you usually see 4,000 to 5,000 easily. And you're looking at 2,000 in some spots, maxing out. There's one here for 5,000. But that's pretty typical to see those resting orders far from the inside action. So my point to that whole thing is just to cut your lot size down and open up your stops a little bit. Like, for example, this morning, if you went long here at the overnight low or yesterday's low, then this thing just dipped down 3 ticks and then popped right back up. So if you're normally have like a 2 or 3 tick stop, you would have been stopped out. And then this thing, of course, goes right back up into your entry. That's just a really good example of how you need to kind of back off a little bit. And the only way to do that and to maintain your risk tolerance is to cut your lot size in half. So don't try to be a hero, I guess. And you can make up for the lack of lot size with the additional travel you'll get in situations like this and a little bit more illiquid markets. So yeah, with that said, definitely I'm going to pick my spots today if they even happen. Like I said, try to pick my spots every day, but yesterday was a little frustrating. There's really only 1 or 2 opportunities, and but a lot of travel inside the range. Just, I don't know. It's not my thing, man. So it's difficult to adapt to a different situation when you're used to trading in one environment, and then all of a sudden you're presented with this other environment. You have to adapt on the fly, and that's typically either engage and kind of figure it out as you go, or you just don't engage. And I'm more comfortable with the latter, I think. So that's my style, and if I don't make money, then I don't make money. It's better than losing money. So anyway, I'm going to pause the video and we will jump back in. We have 3 minutes till cash open, and I'll start it back up if there are any opportunities. Good luck today. Okay, it's about 2 minutes to 7 a.m. Pacific time. A couple interesting things happening here. Well, number one, we're back down to the previous low. The other thing I'm seeing is this big bid over here in the Ultra Bond that actually traded a few times. So sellers hit that bid a few times and it didn't pull off, it stayed. It pulled down to about 400, just over 400, but it didn't immediately just evaporate. So I think that's kind of interesting. I haven't seen that yet in the Ultra Bond, but I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the Ultra Bond. So let's take a look here and see if we get more absorption at this level. About 10,000. It's a nice round number to realize as we push down into it. Just see if that number pumps up and grows a little bit. Just soaking it up again thus far. Let's see if we get any sort of pushback. That's nothing so far. Again, look over here. They hit 12 down into 6 in the Ultra Bond and still hasn't pulled off. Sentiment changed pretty quickly there. So I'll put an order out, see what happens. It's really two tick risk. If they start hitting up into 6 over here, and in the 10-year, I might try to catch this move in one of these other markets over here. Context kind of dictates. You probably could have just put an order out there and caught that. Again, it's only 2-tick risk. If it blows through you, not likely, but it's only 2 ticks. It's a good spot here for people to sell this back down as we get up to the value area in the ES and also the VWAP, typical sell spots. So they're already trying to lift 6. I got filled over here in the Ultra Bond. Could be, you know, a rug pull scenario where or they just, you got sellers over here that are just selling to buyers, so they put up this big offer, or big bid, excuse me, and then they just pull it out and just slap this thing right down. Take advantage of all the stops that are developing over here. Oof, I got filled over here and I forgot to cancel this order. Okay, so this bid pulled off over here, but we're bid at 07. But that bid at 6 is gone. So I'm going to scratch that one. I was kind of leaning on that. Now that that's gone, I think it'd be easy to slam that down. So we're out of that trade. This very well could go nowhere for the next 2 hours, 4 hours, till the Fed comes out. Just going to take one tick out of that because I see that the bonds are pushing down lower, 5 years pushing lows. Okay, so we got filled. Got to give us a little bit more room. I haven't traded a lot of Ultra Bond. I'm not all that familiar with the way the price action works. Like a moron, I'm covering it. Crazy, man. So you got some weird things going on here. You got the ES very, very weak. Very weak in the ES, so it's at the lows of the days, and bonds and treasuries are also at the lows of the day. As weak as the ES is, you know, these things should be up at the top of the range. This is all just has to do with, I think, quad witching and obviously the Fed. But I guess my point in saying that is against my better judgment. Trading this anyway, it's not the best environment. So I think with just sort of coming to this realization at this point, it might be time just to knock this off after this here trade. And of course the Ultra Bond is back up to my entry. So I just covered at the low like a moron, and of course it's right back up. So it just goes to show I have no clue what I'm doing over there. Either that or I should have had my stop way down here and taken a 5 tick, 6 tick, or been okay with taking that big of a loss. I hope you guys were patient enough to catch that at 5.5 down here. That's what I should have done. I should have been more patient. Ultra Bond's pushing the highs of the move. 30 years, what, 3 or 4 ticks off the lows. This is the extent of that last move, though. This is when sellers stepped up and pushed this thing back down. Get this out of here. Seems like the 5-year is a bit of a leading indicator to the 10-year this morning, because I saw this start, buyers start to step up here like, 5 seconds before they did over here in the 10-year. So it's dropping back in on 850, which I guess in a normal environment that would be some significant, but today just because they're so thin, it probably doesn't mean much. Significant in the sense that there just aren't enough buyers there to hold that, like real buyers. Not enough buyers there to hold that level. 293. I'm just gonna move all these here. If we get back up to, that's basically where the last extent of the last move, I'll be okay with that at this point. This is definitely kind of a summertime slow scenario ahead of the Fed. Sort of what was expected, I guess. Damn, I can't. I don't want to keep harping on this, but we're like 2 ticks off my target here in the Ultra Bond. What kind of a moron just covers at the low of the day? That's so stupid. I felt dumb doing it, and I did it anyway. So we've basically been trading in this little, what, 1, 2, 3 tick little range here for the past hour. Just can't get above 6.5, 7. It's a pretty static offer there. It was 2,800 or so. Nothing's really pulled off yet. Still 24. I hit up into it. So those are real orders up there. I'd love to pull this order, see if this would finally go higher. Just don't have any indication that. Well, it's starting to pull off a little bit. What the hell? 33 on the bid. Let's see if this holds up. Hopefully that's real, and we can push this thing back up higher. It's 8 a.m. We got European close. So they're making their adjustments. That could have been a little bit of what this selling was. They were trying to unload some positions before the Fed. You could also see over here, this maybe start to bid up now because they're taking their money out of that market, putting it into this market. Who knows, but it's just something to keep in mind every day when 8 a.m. rolls around, my time, Pacific time, here in the U.S. $600 in the queue, 400. This could be over soon. Hopefully. 400 in the queue. Got it. Okay. Barring this bullshit over here in the Ultra Bond, I think that was pretty well executed and traded. Hung in there like I said I would. Letting trades play out, that's my big thing. Trying to focus on that. P&L be damned. Hopefully not, but maybe. So overall, pretty good trading day considering just working on skills and not worrying too much about profitability, but just trying to stick with the trade that you're in and the intent with the trade itself, not necessarily worrying about the outcome. Anyway, long video, but this is where I end it. It's 8:15 or 8:17, and we have about less than 3 hours till Fed, and this could go somewhere, it could not. I don't know, it looks like we're bid at 7. So who knows? Anyway, I hope you guys bought 5.5, and I hope you hung in there through this little, bullshit that happened here at the bottom, because I think that would have been a pretty good trade every time that it went down there and did it. The context dictated buying it there, in my opinion. With that said, hopefully you log out and just observe the Fed announcement. Don't try to trade that nonsense, and live to see another day. Let's catch you guys tomorrow.